I mean, if you open your minds, and not only talking about Atlanta Public Schools, but about education in general, there are no challenges. That's how I look at it every day. There are no challenges in Atlanta Public Schools. There are only opportunities. You're coming into a situation since the discovery of fire. Public education has been the most important discovery there is. But the problem with public education is it is inflexible. We are trying to teach our children in 2013 the same way that Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson, and everyone else was taught back in the days. There's no innovation, no motivation. So there's only opportunities to do something great. I see Atlanta Public Schools as a blank tapestry that any artist out here can draw a picture, can create a Mona Lisa of what we're doing. So that is the most important thing, I think, moving forward, to understand that it is only opportunities, and education is what you make of it. Education is what we take our children to see, what we want them to become, what we expose them to so they can become. You know, we talk about every time we like to use the adage, you know, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, unfortunately, the village doesn't exist. So until then, a dedicated few must do. Find that dedicated few. You know, up until the demographic process we went through, that dedicated few was dedicated to. But they have begun to grow. You hear the stories about how we went into our schools and the PTA was non-existent. Now you get 100, 150 parents in some PTAs. You still have some that are only 5 or 4 or 3, and some of you may go inside of those schools and those communities. But moving forward, understanding it's all about opportunity. That's what we have in front of us today. It's about seizing the moment and doing the best that we can with it.
So I'm going to be just a little bit contradictory and say, yeah, actually there is a village. The village looks different, and it might not be as easy to find, but again, it's important for you all to know, because I know the pitfalls that we can walk down if we begin to talk a certain way. There is a village. The village is suffering. The village is challenged. The village is strained, and sometimes instead of the village being rested on the back of a parent, you know, a mother and a father in a traditional household, sometimes it is rested on the back of a grandmother or a great aunt or something like that. And instead of there being necessarily, I mean, you know, there are pastors, there are teachers, there is a village. There are teachers in the schools that you are going to that are fighting and working, who aren't Teach for America teachers. So there is a village there that you have the opportunity to add new blood to, that you have the opportunity to add your voice to. And the thing that I tell people all the time, like, Atlanta is, for me, in my mind, the most welcoming city that I know. Jarrod and I talk about this. There's this, like, Atlanta's first big mayor was, I never say his name right, what's his name? Buckhead's mayor now. We call him Buckhead's mayor. Sam Massell. Atlanta is the city where literally, if you try hard enough, you can get breakfast with Sam. I've had breakfast with Sam Massell. There's no reason why Sam Massell should have met with me. I have no money. I have nothing. I met with him for an hour, and he said, whatever you need, keep me informed, and we can figure out what we can do. Atlanta is truly one of the most welcoming, from our most affluent to our most economically challenged people. So I say there is a village. Again, that village looks different in different places. It might not be apparent, but there are people who are waiting and who are open to your input if you come with the right level of respect and humility. And there's an opportunity right now because we don't have a solution. We have ideas. And we have a lot of people focused on this issue. But what we don't have is a collective, if you will, like, understanding of where the solution is. And the truth is there ain't one solution either. There's multiple avenues to get to the solution, and there's multiple people working on different paths, and hopefully at some point we will all be at least talking to each other so that those paths are aligned and we can all be heading in the right direction. But I think Atlanta is rich with opportunity because it truly is like a southern, like, open, come over and let me feed you, and let's talk about what's happening with my child kind of community. And I say that both from, like, Clayton County up to Gwinnett, where we place. I think there's tons of opportunity to bring new life and bring new energy and new ideas and new partnerships to the villages that have been fighting for our children.